Genting is a very small drop in the pharmaceutical place compared to the multi-billion dollar pharmaceutical companies which control, the drugs. So sometimes, we've all heard about the rising cost of healthcare, principally due to the medicine. Whether people do see us as a threat or not, I think Genting's commitment, right, if we succeed, and I do believe, right, there's no reason for Genting to be involved here in the drug sort of we just got lucky. I believe someone, if we are successful, it's going to save, right, a lot of lives. Plus, it would save a lot of pain. Plus, it would save a lot of costs, right, to any health system for any country. So it is our commitment that if we are successful, I think someone up there wants us to succeed, and we have to do this responsibly. In other words, we will definitely try to make it more cost-effective, more affordable to as many people as possible.
The most important thing to take note is that TauRx, which is our associate, is the only company that's actually developing what I call an oral drug. Yeah. If you talk about Leqembi and then donanemab, the existing players from Eisai as well as Biogen and so on, these are not oral. It's actually what you need to do is intravenous. They inject it into your blood because they are actually monoclonal antibodies. So can you imagine old people having to go there and being injected every weekly or even monthly? So it's a big hurdle, and plus those costs are not cheap. You're talking about $50,000 US, $53,000 US, if I'm not mistaken, per patient year. So how many people can afford that sort of money? So we are hoping that our drug will help alleviate some of these issues. Yeah, because ours is twice a day, easy. You just put in the mouth, drink some water, and there it goes. So where are we now? We've obviously finished our phase 3 clinical trial. The data has all been cleaned up. After we finished the phase 3 clinical trial, we then went on to what we call extended open label. What is open label? When you go into a clinical trial, you really have two sets of group. One set of group is given the drug, the medicine itself. The other set of group is actually given not drug, something else, maybe some sweets, or not sweets, it's not something that's not that drug. It's just something that's very innocuous. We call it placebo. Yeah, we call it placebo. But placebo is such that when you take it, you may think that you're taking it, so sometimes your body reacts, but it's always very short-lived. But because we do 18 months trial, over a period of 3-4 months, you can see clearly that if the drug works, if you plot the chart, they will diverge. The graph will show you they'll diverge. How big that divergence is what is important to the regulators. Because the bigger the divergence means the drug is very effective. If it's a small divergence, then not so effective. But sometimes not so effective also, like what happens to Eisai and Leqembi. They didn't actually prove efficacy, but they managed to prove that they clear the beta amyloid. So FDA actually gave them approval. But their products have what I call ARIA, which is bleeding in the brain. In fact, a few of their patients died during trial. Ours, none died. 0 fertility. And our dropout rate, when we were conducting this trial, you have to send your parents and all that, because Alzheimer's means the person cannot go to the center. He cannot even remember who he is. It takes a lot of effort for the family to take the patient week in, week out to go for that drug. Okay? So if you don't yourself feel better, And more importantly, if your family members don't see you seemingly recovering, do you think you will go through 18 months of this trouble? So in our case, so this is what we call dropout rate, because a lot of people after a while, they feel it's not working, I don't want to continue. But in our case, we found the dropout rate was very low. And more importantly, when we finish the clinical trial, we are obliged. It is a promise we made, because if you are given placebo, then it's unfair to you. So what the promise is that we will give you the real drug after the 18 months is over, irrespective of whether you took the original drug or the placebo. And almost everybody that was in our trial decided to stay back for what we call open label. That itself suggests to you that something must be right lah. Okay, people don't stay invested for so long in this drug if it's not working. So we have cleaned up the data. Those data has been submitted to 2 different authorities, one in the UK, MHRA, and the other one obviously to the US FDA lah. We are quite far ahead with MHRA. So like Tan Sri said, look out for this space. Yeah, look out for this space. With the FDA, we have basically asked for what we call a Type C meeting, which is basically to go and present and then get their feedback. So the process is ongoing. So we can't say much because until the regulators say yes, there's nothing we can say. We can, whatever we say is useless. It's FDA. FDA has to say yes, I approve. Otherwise, whatever I say is of no use to anybody. Yeah, so we are doing that sort of work. A lot of work is being done.